What's happening? Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night, the number one show of CrossFit on a Wednesday night at 7:30 Eastern. It's the spin. Man, it was a long weekend, but it happened so fast.
Did you crash?
Do it again.
I wasn't too bad. I was not too bad. I drove in Monday morning, drove back on Monday morning, and then went to the office and got some real work done. And yeah,
I'm glad to be on
weekend.
I'm glad to be on paternity leave.
That is fair.
Tyler, you and Spin, you're both not going to NorCal, correct?
Correct.
That is correct.
Okay.
I'll be watching the live stream from home.
All right.
I got sick as soon as I got back.
I've surprisingly not gotten sick, and I've traveled a lot.
If you don't, it'll be amazing as much as you're traveling.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping I can hold off 2 more weeks. I get sick the weekend of Grid League, I'll be upset. But
yeah, that would suck. Let's see who do we got here. Keeping it real. I love how to this day. That's the only picture of John are using on front covers. I've had the same problem. I think they're talking about the thumbnail. You see the thumbnail? I had to use like a photo from like 2 years ago, John.
Take a picture of me.
Get some headshots.
Well, I'm not gonna pay for headshots, man.
The Savon Podcast, number one Wednesday night show. Summer Vine. She was at Syndicate Crown in her boot.
Mm-hmm.
In her boot. You said she was doing some crazy workout. She was doing the class workout, John. She was doing shuttle runs.
No, I didn't say she was doing a crazy workout. I said she was doing something she wasn't supposed to.
The class workout, shuttle runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't do that. Just follow what John says. L1 Mel, did anyone else get an email from CrossFit that bought tickets in the pre-sale telling them that they have an additional 2 tickets for free?
What?
I've heard that.
Because they paid full price. And there are still a lot of seats.
There are 3,000 or something like that. So
could very well be a packed house at this rate. That's crazy.
Honestly, I would rather a packed house. Let's just give them out for free, man.
There are actually 20 less tickets than there were because people won some tickets from Heat 1 from this past weekend. Shout
out to I Only Play to Win, who won.
There we go.
Shot caller.
He only played for that reason.
That's right.
Jay Delato 2. Roldio.
He's on there a lot.
Roldio, that's Tristan, right? Tristan Harrison.
Is that Tristan?
I thought that's what he said in the chat one time.
And then Sup Dorks coming in 4th, missing out on the tickets.
That sounds like Colton.
That does sound like Colton. I bet it's Dallin.
You think so? I thought Dallin had his own regular username.
Yeah, Dallin just has Dallin.
I think he changed it so we don't. Did he? Does he still have his name? I thought he changed.
And he doesn't say. He said, "What's up, losers?" on his thing.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't say dorks.
Jay Steranko in top 10, number 1, and also Trunix 24 tied for first.
Oh, tied for first gets it. Okay.
Do they both get tickets then?
Yeah, they both get tickets.
3 for shot collar and 2 for top 10.
Nice.
So, we will be reaching out shortly.
Look who's here.
Congratulations. Thanks to everybody who played.
Grant Griffin, the accountant, is in the building.
He told me he was in finance.
Is accounting not finance?
It's very different.
It is not the same. High Ground made it. The best beef chips out there. I had some beef chips this weekend. That got me some protein. Kevin Carrot got one of the fancy red barbell spin shirts from Syndicate and got a new PR. There you go. Let's see. Load up on some C and electrolytes, Tyler.
I blasted. What is that? Emergency? I've been blasting it the whole time since I've been back. I'm on a cycle of emergency. And then some vitamin D.
It's too late if you're doing it then. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it.
And then some vitamin D. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do it. 'Cause you're not going to be able to do It'll work.
Vindicate. They sold all kinds of stuff out there at Syndicate. Did you get hailed on out there, Travis?
Which day?
I think it was Friday. There was a bit of hail.
Dude, I miss Tennessee rains.
No,
It
there
comes
wasn't.
down.
Kale wasn't there.
Hail.
Oh,
Hail.
Kale, not Kale. Oh, my bad. My fault.
Why? You know where Kale is? Paige and Kale.
Nobody knows where that
Nobody
dude
knows
is.
where that. Jonathan Ortega, engineered nutrition electrolytes. I met those guys. Good dudes. I got a sample pack to try out. So enjoying it so far. Good stuff. Doesn't taste salty, but there's plenty of electrolytes. William Foltz. I saw that name in the chat. Listening from Murfreesboro. So there you go. I do want you to draw your attention if you are in the live chat, and you look at there's a new thing going on up there in the top right. It says community leaderboard. So if you're in the YouTube channel and you're looking at the chat, there's a little crown up there says community.
The community.
Yeah,
Oh, we got to update on YouTube.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Let's go into infinity mode here.
Yeah. Let's see.
I pulled up Instagram because I'm an addict.
So yeah, here it is. So up here, it says little crown. It says community, and it's community leaderboard. And so it tracks everything you do when you're interacting with the channel now on a live stream.
Wow.
And so basically every chat that you send in, I think super chats and gifts and all those like little fun little, sending us money counts towards points. And since I'm one of the few that has it now, it's a beta test. I'm going to give away $100 Australian in gift card to Frog Grips to the winner at the end of the show. So you get points by just chatting. You get points by sending in super chats. You get
Does it update in real time?
I think so.
That's awesome.
So let's click on it right now.
I need to update my YouTube app.
Jose said like 37 comments.
Awesome.
So let's click on it right now.
I need to update
Grant
my
Griffin.
YouTube
I don't know what
Jose
it's
said like 37 comments.
Awesome.
So let's click on it right now.
I have no idea.
Grant
Griffin. I don't know what it's
like 37 comments.
Awesome.
So let's click on it.
What is going on? I have man, it's like getting crazy.
Spin. That was Inception if I've ever heard it. Good grief. I almost refreshed my computer and I was like, wow. And then I looked at Tyler and Tyler was laughing. I was like, okay. It's just.
So you guys in the chat, you'll see it on there. It has like little crowns. So whoever's number one at the end, you'll get
Grant already in the lead.
So what if you spam the chat? I have no idea what happens.
Do it. We love it anyway.
Yeah, I have no idea how the points actually work. But you're supposed to get.
All right, can we get off the screen, man? So. I'm getting like a headache.
Jordan Hayward asked, where did he go? We got a bunch of chats now. Jordan Hayward,
you know him.
I do know him. He asked if I was going to frame the Theo Kemper jersey. I am definitely going to frame that jersey.
Good.
I'm gonna put. I started looking at shadow boxes today, so we should have that up on the wall. Do you think
Theo said he was going to? Yeah, Theo said he was going to work on his running for next year.
I hope so.
He's going to show out and yeah. Summer Vine, best B team in the business, $4.99. Thank you, Summer.
Thanks, Summer. Appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. And Josh, a new High Ground member. There's also somebody new I'm going to tell you in a little bit who is a brand new member of the Spin. So I'll get to that in viewer comments.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. First up. At House Glendale 1914. Young, it's John Young, looking like a very good analyst here. Predicted Sterner top 5, and only after second guessing said top 7. And literally said Ty is fitter than everyone in the field. So there you go.
Well, unfortunately, he was 8th in Isabel, so I lost that bet. But
that was an amazing bet. That's how you guys
very good bet. You have to, if you lose, you lose. Wasn't the first thing I lost this weekend. So,
and that's how I'm funding the Frog Grips.
Is it really? It's my money. Hey, and you need to tell the people I paid immediately. Did I not?
You did. Yeah.
In cash, nonetheless.
Yeah. If you were paying attention, last week, there was a little debate on Isabel. What does George Sterner place?
Now, you did say not top 10, and then I went way over on the other side.
You said he was going to be top 5, and then we kind of settled in the middle, and you said top 7, and that was the bet. And George Sterner got 8th place. He missed out by 7th by 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds.
It is what it is. It's a bad beat, man. You know what else is a bad beat? I went and looked at my Isabel time because I was it's very anticlimactic because Sam just wrecked shot, right?
Yeah.
I had the 52nd fastest time in the world, in the entire world. And then Sam,
where's that?
In the affiliate semifinal.
Oh, okay.
Sam was just that good. And I don't think people understand. If I was in an 11th lane in heat 1, I win. If I'm in an 11th lane in heat 2, Mason beats me. But I win
Depends on what gender you're racing against, because Rebecca Devine would smoke you in the first heat.
I'm not talking about Rebecca Devine. I'm talking about
nearly twice
what I am. I'm just saying Sam DeMeester, people need to understand how fast he went. He would have been 5th in the competition, and it was the 19th fastest time in the world.
It's crazy.
Really took the sales out of my challenge, so I appreciate that, Sam.
Shouldn't have invited.
I don't even care that you beat me. I just wish it wasn't by so much. You know what I mean? That way it would have been interesting, but good on that guy.
William Foltz, a new member. Thank you, William. Speaking of Murfreesboro, there is a zebra on the loose in Murfreesboro right now.
This is big news.
Yeah. William probably knows about it.
Where do you even get one in Murfreesboro?
Somebody had a zebra as a pet, and the zebra had escaped. And it happened over the weekend, and the zebra is still on the loose.
Stay tuned, folks, to the spin where we'll keep you up to date on the zebra escape. On
everything happening in Murfreesboro. Mrs. Spin, I had so much fun at Syndicate. She was here watching. And Sam, look at that. Sam is watching. He knows.
Cool hand, Sam.
Yeah.
All right, Sam. I just complimented you. So if you want to get me on the Froning podcast, that'd be cool. But, it's whatever. Also, this is a fitness test. It does not mean anything. Okay, we max snatch. I beat everybody. It's a fitness test. Okay, but he did his thing.
I think Sam self-admittedly doesn't have a great 1 rep max snatch.
I think it's 295 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's
still pretty good.
It's still pretty good. But amongst people who are doing his time, he might have the lowest snatch of people doing his time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't recognize the name until I saw her out there, but I think Barrett Coons is an Olympic weightlifter. I think she does Olympic weightlifting. And she barely finished. She barely finished under the time cap in your challenge. So
yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of guys like Ilya Moskalenko, and I know people don't know who that is.
Yes.
He was in Olympic lifting. I mean, he snatches 330 for a max, and he does CrossFit. He's not like Anton Plesnoy, right? He's the guy that was at NorCal last year. He's going to be at NorCal this year. But his time was 5:25. You know what I mean? It's not. It's a fitness. People don't understand just because a lot of people can't do it. They don't understand how much fitness is involved in it. Even Jeff Adler. I don't think I've ever seen Jeff Adler snatch 300.
No.
And he just has the best battery out of everybody by a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Avera 9636. Spin in what otherwise was a poo-poo broadcast. She used the other word, or he, or whoever this is. You were fantastic at Syndicate. Okay.
Just you, Spin.
Just me. I know you have not actively pursued commentating gigs in the CrossFit arena, but you should. Just get away from Savon's growing toxicity.
Growing? Is it
Growing
the growing pit of despair?
Yes. It's getting bigger and bigger as we
speak. Like a sinkhole.
Yes.
I will not agree that
that spin was very good at commentary.
Yes, exactly.
That the stream was poo-poo. Or the commentary was poo-poo. Like, I loved how different essentially every heat was. The A team, the mixture of folks on the A team or B team, and then the A team was like, I loved the back and forth of it. I don't understand why some of the comments.
It's a hard concept to get.
Yeah. The feedback is just so all over the place, and it's contradictory to itself.
We wanted that shift for a reason.
Yes. I thought like I would agree wholeheartedly, though. I was not prepared for how much spin sounded like a baseball play-by-play. It was incredible. I was like, where the hell is this coming from? It's like, I really thought, did you moonlight doing this in college or something?
Done absolutely none of this. And when, to be honest, when I sat on that very first...
Kevin. I take that as hate completely.
No offense, John.
Yeah, none at
with
all.
All due respect.
No, I've never done that. When I sat on that very first, the only meeting that I was in, that we had like the whole group call, and you went through and you showed the spreadsheet, and I was like, and Spin's going to do the play-by-play. I was like,
got it.
This is a problem.
So you just listened to baseball games until the season started, or until we went to Syndicate?
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, stay away from Savon's growing toxicity. At Lucas Herban, 1 hour and 56 minutes. I think he's referring to last week's show. You are crazy, man. These should be like 10 to 15 minute updates. We're 2 minutes over right now, so he hasn't.
What planet are you from,
Lucas? We're just going to do 15-minute shows.
What? No, not that. We've been doing this for what, 2 years?
Yes.
You're a little late to the party, bro.
What are you talking about, man?
I mean, if you listen to the hour and 56 minutes and 15-minute intervals, you'll finish up on Tuesday or maybe even Wednesday morning. And then guess what?
Ready to go again.
Ready to go tonight. So it's perfect timing for it.
We'll start clipping it that way.
Yeah. Just every 15 minutes. That way, every day I'll just drop 15 minutes in a replay. At Sid Remb, Tyler listens to Savon in the shower. If you didn't catch that, that's what he does.
Yeah, I do every day, basically.
And Sid, she listens to y'all in the shower. So there you go. John, all I've heard about grid is it's a lot of drama. How do you carry your faith with you when competing in the league?
Oh, that was kind of a deep question. You shifted topics without telling anybody, Spin.
Sid, that was Sid. She's talking about listening to us in the shower and then asked how you compete.
Oh, okay.
It's just a stream of thought.
It's not hard. I carry my faith everywhere that I go. I think people I don't know. I know I've gotten canceled more than anybody else in our little crew, including Savon, which is wild. But if you notice, I don't ever cuss ever, just out of principle. When have I cussed, Tyler? Go ahead, tell me. You've never heard a cuss word.
You've say things that are equivalent to cussing.
For sure. You for sure. But a part of that is having control over your tongue, and those things that I do say, I just don't care to. I don't think that's as bad, or it's a control thing. But and I started that right whenever I got saved. I was like, I need to change some of the things that I do, and cussing was one of those things. With that, the things that I have said have gotten me canceled multiple times. But carrying my faith with me is not hard. If you live with Jesus in your heart, it's not hard to go anywhere without him. Like it's right. And people, you will know people and where they stand by their fruits. And I hope that I show my fruits wherever I go. And if I don't, then I need to work on it.
Wait, we probably can't show that comment. But Brandon Lecoq coming out of retirement to say thick thighs is way worse. I haven't seen Brandon around in months.
I'm pretty sure that's what you said, Tyler. And one of the
I did say that
thick-legged girl.
I went ahead and quoted you, John, during one of the B stream.
Oh, did you?
Streams. I called Rolf a thick-legged thing.
Haley's Rolf,
and she probably was one.
That was the thing.
That's a compliment.
We got feedback that we were misogynistic, and I was
Guys, I'm not saying that cussing is like not like a bad thing. I was just using that as an example. As I try to control my tongue in that way. Of course, there are other words that people might not like me to say, but it's not like I got carried away. My thing did not go as well as I wanted it to. Just go ahead.
I was just saying that
thick-legged thing, Haley Rolf.
We got called out for being misogynistic, and for the life of me, I've watched the live stream like every day. I'm probably on my second run through of watching it, just like watching it from different angles, taking notes on different things. And like for the life of me, I can't find one place where we said something misogynistic. I said, I pointed out, and I'll double down here, that Emma Harving was one of the larger athletes. And it's like, I'm not saying, I said this on Sevon's behind the scenes like paid show. Like, I didn't say she was disgusting. I think it's cool how like tall she is and how she can like go with the best. Emma
Harving is an amazing person.
I
love Emma Harving.
She's amazing for sure. It was, but I can't get over how people thought we were misogynistic, and it's like we're literally just talking about a sport that depends on how big or small you are. Literally.
I think some people saw Savon was broadcasting it and first look for it, but also misinterpret what is said as hate when it's not, just because they say it's on Savon's channel. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think, and I also think people, and I mean, I guess we're kind of blended into the Syndicate recap. I think people like hold on to the one, like the 5 things out of the whole entire weekend that might have been off color. You know what I mean? Because I thought we were rolled back a ton from like what the podcasts are. But it's not.
Yeah. I mean, even the post shows. I mean, the post shows were still a little bit wild. But like the broadcast itself,
the post shows were not. They were bad, Sven. The post shows were. Let's stick to the broadcast. I don't.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like you compare the two, you can tell that it's way different.
Yes.
Let's see. We'll do the last comment, then we'll move on to Syndicate Crown.
Hold on. That's my point, Grant. Andrew did a 90-second compilation. That's it. He took everything that was bad.
There were over 21 hours of content. It was 0.126% of time streamed, whether it was the forest or the actual competition. It was less than 0.13% of the time had that content.
Because Andrew got them all. That's every single thing that was there. And there was 21 hours that we were recording, and it was 90 total seconds.
It also wasn't F-bombs. It was shit bombs.
Right. It's whatever you think. I don't think I'm in that clip once. So I don't think he thinks anything that I've said.
No, it was probably 60% Savon, 30% Pedro, and 10% Caleb.
And what Andrew is saying is that dick slap is okay. That's what Andrew is saying.
You should visit Knoxville. One of our newest members, Jeff Bayoko. That dude was hot and cold this weekend. Sorry I missed the show. I have insomnia, so watching it now to help me get to sleep. So, new member, Jeff. I hope.
Thanks, Jeff.
Well.
Hey, I do that with the Predator shows, like Hansen versus Predator. Those help me go to sleep. Listening to people who are pedophiles go to jail, it helps me out.
Oh, Chris Hansen.
Is that your? Is that
I thought
your
you said
new member?
I just heard Predator, like the movie. No.
Oh, that's not the surprise new member. Got it.
Yeah, Jeff Bianco was the surprise new member. Kevin Carrick, if I send a super chat, can Tyler call me a thick-legged thing?
I only speak the truth, so we'll see. But definitely send me a super chat.
I only speak the truth. Ben Smith is going to get second place at Syndicate Crown.
Syndicate Crown. We kind of talked about it a little bit. Matt Souza. Nobody worries about the vulgar halftime show during the Super Bowl, but everyone is so worried about the broadcast.
We didn't show any boobs in the halftime show, so win there.
Good
Maybe a loss, depending on who you're asking.
Syndicate Crown. I guess we'll start off with the competition. Any major takeaways from you, John, on the actual competition itself?
Ty Jenkins, I think, is going to be here to stay. I think this is the first of many CrossFit games that he's going to qualify for. And there's no better kid than Ty Jenkins. And I'm really excited to see where he goes from here. If he gets better or if he, this is the best he's going to be. And then he's just fringe every time, or if he makes a jump to like, oh no, like he's one of those guys that like potentially can push for the top 10. That's my biggest takeaway. Along with that is just like Reese Littlewood. I know she didn't make it, but it was hers to lose, and she just didn't really have it on the back. I think Reese Littlewood's going to make it next year just because she's going to take another jump. And her gymnastics abilities, like for her to, in a handstand walk workout where Brooke Wells gets 8th place, and she's the best out of all of the great handstand walkers. Like, I think the young talent that's coming to CrossFit, the biggest takeaway was that we're going to have 3 to 4 new names that we're going to talk about. And that's not always the case. A lot of times when people want to bring up teens, like I don't care about them at all until they do it on the big stage versus the big girls and big boys. And like we've got 3 girls and 1 guy who punched his ticket. And I think it's still like a year away from Miley Wade and maybe 2 years for Elsie Larson. But I think Reese Littlewood's going to make it next year. She was the most impressive to me. And I mean, the Spencer Panchik story is fun. Like that's a fun thing, but I don't think that should take away from what those guys did in this competition.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I apologize for not respecting respecting your take on Ty earlier, but
I don't think anybody did.
I think, the problem is John is too close to the sun.
Right.
That one, right. Like you've done podcasts with Ty.
That's fair. Yeah. Grant does not control my
Grant
picks,
keeping it real also is too close to Ty about that. So you
can't trust Grant at all. But
of course, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in NorCal Classic.
Okay.
But it's just like when Tyler's like, "Oh, Tanner Blas is 4th place." You're never going to believe it just because Tanner is good friends with Tyler. Like
John has a lot more discern about his opinion, even though he's friends with people. I will say that, but you couldn't know. Like we hadn't really seen Ty at that sort of capacity yet, and man, was I impressed! Like the dude has totally changed. He's got that killer instinct. Like he'll look adversity right in the eye and go and put the pedal down. I was totally impressed. He's got a great family unit, great support system.
Yeah,
like this dude's on a high trajectory for sure.
Yeah, I was waiting for Ty on that final event to get to the sandbag and just struggle.
He's not George Sterner, man.
And he made it look good.
Dude, I think George Sterner, if he just put 10 pounds of muscle on, he might be untouchable. George Sterner is so fit, but man, he is small. Like if you stand next to him, you're like, how do you do the things you do? Like it makes sense in the ones that he wins, But it almost doesn't make sense that he can compete with the fittest in the world in strength stuff. It just doesn't.
Kevin Carrot, time to pay up, Tyler. $199.
Show me them legs. DM me them legs. I'll make an assessment.
Hang on. Let's see. I don't know.
I'll be the what do you call that guy? The guy who goes out, property assessor.
Yeah,
I'm the leg assessor.
I don't know. What his legs look like. Do you want to go? I think we had one I missed.
I thought you were looking for his legs.
No, I'm not looking. Jose. I used one of his photos, the Cale Lehman photo, today. Testing to be on top. If not, I need my refund. So we'll find out.
Count?
I have no idea. You should guys check out the community leaderboard and see.
It's like I'm gonna pay whoever's at the top. I don't know.
I don't run it.
Try everything, and we'll see what happens.
I'm sure the more money you throw at it, the better your odds. That's all I know. Keeping it real, $5. My picks were Ty Jenkins and Jack Rosema, and never wavered because of my expertise and nothing else.
He already told me Ty Jenkins is going to be top 10 at the games.
Ben Smith would have been second had he not had popcorn before every single event. So,
really
shouldn't have had that popcorn.
Yeah. Ben Smith second place did not happen, Tyler.
No, but it would have been cool.
Oh man, it would have been awesome. I don't remember where I had. I think I had him 9th. Spin, where did he end up?
He was right there. He's top 10. He's 9th because Matthews was 10th. So yeah, he was 9th place.
Look at there.
How about that? Yeah, the young women. I was really impressed by Miley Wade. Right, like obviously Reese Wood turned it on the last day, right, and really took it. But like Miley Wade is little, and she was able to move the barbell pretty well. She could handle all of the heavy implements. She can run faster than almost everybody. Give her a year or 2 years, and she's dangerous.
Yep. Also, a standout performance that kind of probably would have gone overlooked was Lydia on the sandbag. Like she had I think it was like a top 10 time or something like that. I think it was 8th. Lydia, but it was like, it was like on a sandbag workout. And I was like, she's right there. And it's like I was talking to her coach after, and it's like she basically quoted John, and she was like, "We got to get 15 pounds of muscle on her." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me."
J-Way barbell.
When I say that, I'm not lying. It's the truth. And then if you can do it, you'll be awesome. And if you can't, you'll be probably around the same thing every year.
It was crazy. Like Brian putting Seth Stovall as a qualifier. I mean, like I was hype on Seth, and I think I still put him at like 5th.
I think I might have had him second.
I think most people had Seth in a qualifier.
That's
spot.
Insane.
I think I was in the very small minority of having Ty Jenkins qualify, and I think most people had Seth Stovall qualify.
Dude. I think what we're seeing, and it makes sense, and you talk about it until you make your picks, is there's something way different in finishing 10th or 11th to qualify for a spot versus top 2. Even when the field is a different, like all those guys in the front go away, you expect everybody to just kind of filter up and move up. But when you're sitting in 1st or 2nd, that's a way different feeling than sitting there in 11th place fighting for that last spot than you are in 2nd place fighting for that last spot.
Yeah.
Like Seth in a way better field might still finish 7th.
Right.
It's weird, isn't it?
But it's because he doesn't really have any holes. He's just pretty decent at everything. And then, Ty Jenkins Isabel, I keep bringing him up. We could say somebody else's name. George Turner Sandbag event. Now that's a 40th place because you have Jeff Adler, Dallin, Hopper, and all these, so many else good guys are going to be ahead and make any bad event much, much worse. Where Seth doesn't really have bad events. He's just kind of decent at everything, but he's not really great at anything.
Yeah.
And so he's just middle of the pack. But these middle of the pack no matter what field it is, because everybody's got their home runs.
And you look at Rebel Renegade games, Sarah Sigmundsdottir won 4 of the 9 events and had several second place finishes and did not qualify.
Crazy.
She did not win it, right? Like she was 3rd or 4th, something like that. Like she was not even in the top 2. It only one went. And that's kind of like what happened to Guy that one year at Copa Sur, where one bad event, like if it would have been semifinals of last year, Sarah probably is fighting for the 10th spotted women in Europe. Right. But when you're trying to fight for that one spot or top 2, you can't. You have to be solid every single time. And I think it makes it tough when it's only 2 spots. Non-syndicate related, Natalie Fleming. Why is Guy even competing?
No one knows. Cash money, baby.
Beats me, girl. I wish he wouldn't. But I mean, like he's his own man. He can do what he wants. But he is an influencer.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the best thing that I can say about him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the reason was, but my guess is it had something to do with Torian and Frog Grips bringing him out there. He's a Frog Grips athlete. Probably brought him out there. I will say Torian Pro looked ridiculously awesome.
It did.
Again.
It always does, man. They kill it every time.
I think about like, what if Syndicate, like the Civic Coliseum had been completely packed, even the half that was being used for the elite field, like how crazy that would be. And you think about Torian that was bigger and completely full.
Yep.
Like nuts.
They have a whole
Josh, $2. It was $2 of nice to see it all in person. It was a good time. I do think it was a fun competition to be at. The programming. Do you think JR's programming was too difficult?
Difficult how?
Because people got capped?
Because athlete, like I'm looking at like the races, right? Like if the races are close, like if the programming is simple and it's just a matter of who moves faster, you're going to see a lot of really tight races. But JR's programming, it requires skill. It requires like perfect execution. And you saw athletes sometimes in the first heat that did really well. You had even the first or second heat, we had a lot that did very well because that was like their wheelhouse.
Which I loved. It made commentating fun.
Yeah, it definitely did. But there weren't like in the same heat, the heat of the final heat, you'd expect everybody kind of come in there close. Like there weren't a whole lot of like super close races. And I'm wondering, is that just because of the field, because of, the programming? Like, is it just an anomaly or am I?
What do you mean there wasn't close races? I mean, like Ty barely won in the hundreds. Him and George went back and forth in the hundreds. George Cerner smiling as he's hawking Connor Volts down in the 6th of 7th.
There were a couple. I'm not saying there weren't a couple.
Isabel is, a wash. The bag event was pure chaos for the men and the women.
Mm-hmm.
Lexi Neely and Kyra Milligan were racing until the end. Even the handstand walk,
walk was madness.
There was chaos. And we.
Chaos. I don't know about chaos.
The 2-2-3 intervals is the only one there wasn't much racing because there were a couple that could do it in 3, and then like that one is probably the hardest of the events, and there was a lot of spread there. But I feel like every other event had a ton of races. So I don't buy that it didn't have races. I don't think it's too hard because most of the field could do every single event and not get capped. If the programming's too hard, people can't do it.
I would say JR tests for the games and he's testing for the best. And at the games, like you have to have that execution. You have to have the skill. And so like, I think what a different way of phrasing what you're saying is there were like there were home run hitters essentially in every single event, and they were often not in the top heat because of the way that the programming was lined up. It was always complementary, right? He never did like a strength event and then a Metcon that was strength bias, right? It would always be kind of polar.
Yeah. No, I mean, I did the correlation analysis. First of all, I think it was Metal March was the number one, was correlated for both men and women. But between events, there were not any super highly correlated events.
And that was the case for Crash as well.
Right. Yeah. So like they weren't so similar where the same people were always winning in the kind of the same order. And so you saw that like it was jostling up and down and people were moving up. Like, day one, Sydney's in 17th place and she ends up whatever, 7th or 5th or whatever. Same with Spencer. And I mean, I heard Scott say that after day one. He's like, hey, it's just a matter of the order of events.
Sure. I would say like also like to add color to your simple. I mean, like the yoke workout, super simple. Yoke repeater, super simple. I don't think any of them are particularly complicated other than Metal March is a little weird with the 2-2-2-3. Yeah. But besides that, like I think it was very simple programming. It just elicits a specific response with skill, which I like. Like I think you should give the people who can hit homers the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. First of all, I really liked learning about and meeting a lot of the new athletes that we hadn't seen there before. But I also wish that we would have been able to see Dallin and Jason and Jeff, Roman, all throw down and take on that programming. Because yes, there were races, but I feel like a lot of those guys would have been right there on top of each other. Like the margin of the gap between those guys is so similar that it would have been like some really, really like 3 or 4 people coming down the finish line at the same time.
One of the things that I want to figure out, I'm not sure how to analyze it. So I ran P-score for Syndicate yesterday, did a little post on my Instagram about it. Reese, I mean, the highlight was Reese kind of was the one thing that made a difference. She should have gotten the tickets to the games, or I shouldn't say shoulda, but you know what I'm saying.
She would have gotten the tickets.
She would have under P-score, but the men's side was actually interesting. There were essentially no changes,
even though there was a tie for second.
And I I've never seen that before, where it's like basically almost 100% the same for the top 15. Like that's wild. And I can't help but think it has to do something with the way JR programs.
100%, because Crash was the same way. Colton won 4 events, and we all thought P-score was going to be like when him and Hatfield. Because I remember the first time we saw Austin, everybody wanted to wait for the P-score because they thought Colton would have won because he won the last 4 events. But Austin was second in all of those events.
That one's an outlier because
I'm just saying Austin still won in P-score. And so like what you're saying, I'm saying I think that's just I agree.
Yeah, you're agreeing
that JR's the way he programs makes the actual order and P-score the same or more similar than other competitions. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but like it tends to correlate.
Well, I think it's a good thing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
JR thinks about programming at such a different level. And I'm not saying that like Dave isn't responsible for his programming, but like JR writes them again, tests 3 different versions. Why am I testing what I'm testing? What am I trying to elicit? Like he goes through 18 different analyses on one event. And my point with P-score, one of the points of P-score is to make the programmer very responsible for the way that they program, what the time caps are, how, what the structure of the events are, what implements are used. All of those things super matter. And JR is the only one who seems to have gone through that sort of process of like, hey, we think about this at this level.
You can't be late.
he's absolutely antithetical to lazy when it comes to programming, and I think that's why it shakes out that way.
I will say it's not a straight line though. It correlates more with the men than the women, because
there was some
year, I
changes
remember like you already said, Reese would have changed.
Mhm.
I also remember like Kyra was 4th and she would have been 2nd at Crash Crucible.
Mhm.
And that's kind of a big swing, you know. So the men correlate much more than the women do, and I don't know what the reason is for that, but it's interesting.
I feel like the women's leaderboard was like, well, at Crash, it was nuts. Like the women's leaderboard was all over the place. The men's wasn't. Yeah, and I think maybe even the women's was like that more too. Like Ty, Jack, George, Luke.
Those 4 were
they kind of held the top 4 for the most part.
Mhm.
The women's leaderboard, I mean, Reese was number 1 going into the final event.
Yeah.
Like it moved a lot.
Well, she was 2nd.
Miley was 2nd at one point, right? Like
The-
there were a lot of people
Brooke
in that
was
top
first.
too. Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah,
The whole time. Yeah.
Reese was in 2nd. Yeah.
The reason the women tend to juggle like that, John, is because the disparity of skill and strength is so much higher, where all the men are like basically very close in skill and strength, whereas the women, like some of them are just not as strong as the other, and so you'll get this huge swing. Same thing with skill, like rope climbs a murder on girl events, period, and then you put P score into the mix on that, and it drastically changes it. So
I think amongst the games field though, you would see similar. It would be more similar to the men.
Yes.
Because a semifinals field, you're going to get that gap so much for the women, way more than you would the men.
Larry Young, 499. Not too difficult, good, but didn't test top end strength. I will say that
paid $5 to say that.
I mean, JR definitely, he wants to test strength in a fitness capacity. What I was going to say even before this was we've always seen JR program a semifinal level competition, right? 6 events generally. I'd really be curious to see what he would do in a 9 to 12, games. Right? Like a games style where it's 9 to 12 events or more.
We've never seen it.
Right. We've never seen that where he has the ability to throw in a top end strength event, a super long event, like how all that would work if he had a competition where he could program it like that.
Double high rocks, 1 event that day.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked with JR and I've talked about this to no end of like, what do you program when? I don't think top end strength should be tested semifinals. You should elicit something that responds well to the guys who are super strong, but like a 1 rep max itself should not ever be tested at semifinals. You're not there yet. You haven't earned the right to be able to showcase that, because you're still trying to weed out people who aren't fit.
Likewise, a run should not be programmed. A straight run should
just straight run. Absolutely. Right. Yeah.
Like the 800 meter, 10 clean and jerks and 185 is a beautiful endurance event.
Do you think yoke repeater was? You think yoke repeater was really close to that though?
But it's just enough that like if you're a bad runner, you could beat a bad runner who's not as strong as you.
Yes.
Like I bet
I hear you.
Here's what I'm saying. I think if me and Tyler did that workout, we'd be really close, and I might could get him. If we did a straight run, I'm 2 minutes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I cannot hesitate at all and just go as fast as I can. And I'm picking up maybe 6 seconds every single time on the yoke repeater, and he never can really get to top speed. It's not just an open run.
I think there was plenty of room for open, like
there's
enough
8
speed
turns.
It was a lot of turns.
It's way more,
but outside outside you had plenty of room.
Yeah,
like there was other than the
people
turn
really weren't hammering.
No, they were not. I went out there for the women's heats. I think it was the 3rd heat for the women, and I stood out there right underneath the drone, and yeah, it was. There was no sprinting. Like you did not look at it and go, "Wow." I mean, even Sydney, when she was beating everybody, you're like, "Okay, she's moving pretty good," but she was not. I know she can run way faster, right? Like,
yeah,
nobody was really limited by that, in my opinion.
Right. I would say it was just enough to make it not a a straight aerobic test.
It's like the sandbag event. The sandbag event, those 9 sandbags is where it was won, but you have this gymnastics in the middle that make it
you out
just enough where it's not just a strength test.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to look back at the wide angle for the yoke repeater and see how much time was on each of the yokes.
Sure.
Because I really think even the best to the last, maybe 30 seconds difference between the 8 rounds. Maybe. Right?
It's not just the yoke, though, man. It's like what it does to your heart rate.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
going to do more to Tyler's
your
heart
legs.
than my heart.
Yeah,
it's
but I don't.
More to Tyler's
there's
legs
there's
than
nobody
legs.
that you would look at that was really strong on the yoke who like couldn't run, but they're just so strong on the yoke that you're like, wow, they got 5th place. Like they were runners.
Shout out Theo.
It's still a running workout. It's still a running workout.
That's why I asked, was it too close to, you're saying you shouldn't be a single modality running event. Like I'm asking, is that too close of one?
I think if that's your endurance test, which it was in this case, then no.
Could you have made it slightly heavier and it divert off that? I think I do honestly think, because when I finished it in 1725 here at the house, and which is different.
We know.
Did you know I did this in 1725? And I thought
I don't want to save my time. It's going to make it No, not for the reason you think.
Did you beat me? Say it. 15. You didn't do 15.
I was 1723.
No, you were freaking lying. That's hilarious. But did you think of
my 400 meters is not like the greatest.
It's like 350.
Like you have to turn around though. Like it's not like a straight shot.
we have to do like a straight turn down and back. That's why I trusted it as far as like a good tester, because I was like, I have to do a hard stop and turn. But even I was like, I think it can be slightly heavier to weed out anybody who's just like not strong at all. And it's like, it's not even that you just
don't want Rachel Klausing to win that event.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, Rachel Klausing is going to win that event unless you added 50 pounds to it. Like there's nobody close. Like I noticed it in round 7, like her pace started picking up around the back of the arena. You're just like, wow, she's actually moving fast. And nobody else looked like that.
Then heat one time, we're ready for it to go. All right, we're going to get fast now. Nope, that's the fastest we were going to see. Is that right there?
Yeah. Let's see.
Go ahead.
Aaron Harner, new YouTube member. Thank you, Aaron.
Welcome, Aaron.
The final event, both were super close, which was awesome from both the commentary standpoint, a spectator standpoint. I mean, I assume the athletes enjoyed it, other than some who didn't, fell out. Mm-hmm. But having everything come down to that final event, I can't remember who it was that came in from the back, the warm-up area, and they're like, dude, it is intense back there.
I bet.
Like nobody's talking.
Well, first through
super quiet.
3 points apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was because I had my paper out. I was doing John math while you were commentating to try to get a sense of who was going to end up on the men's side, and kind of had all the math and had all the times that were going to play a role on like middling people. And it didn't matter because they were way faster than everybody else.
Not hardly any touch and goes. Was there like Clegg did one right at the end, but he was in last.
I thought Luke was going to. He tried to touch and go the last 9, and I thought he was going to do it. And then his second one was like the end of all sandbag.
I was standing next to his
touch
coach.
And go, Spencer touch and go.
Clegg started out, I think, touch and go, and then it
devolved quickly.
Yeah.
I
was surprised that there weren't more, but I guess, I mean,
none of the women touch and go.
None
of them.
I mean, because Taylor tested those workouts over a weekend, so he also had the fatigue of doing that 6th workout in 3 days.
Yes.
I don't know how he did it. Like, I don't know how he went touch and go like that. Nobody else
better.
could.
I would love to know where Taylor
did it though.
What?
But nobody, almost nobody else did it.
Spencer did it the exact same way Taylor did it.
I said almost.
Did he do 6 and then 3?
He touch and go the last up until the 3, and then I think it was 3 singles. He might have touching. I don't remember. He was touching going on the second half though too, and he was like 5:05, and Taylor was 4:44. Like it makes.
But nobody else though. Like
Luke Parker did too. Jack Roseman tried
2 as opposed to 6.
Yeah, Taylor's really fit, guys. All he does is that. He doesn't lift real weights. All he does is that.
Do you know where Taylor would have been?
He's really good at that.
Do you know where Taylor would have been had he done it? Like if he had competed this weekend?
I mean, the 100 squats would have took him out alone.
I don't think anybody. Are you saying his times?
No, his overall standings. Yeah, if we took his times from testing and put him in the leader.
The hundreds would have rocked him. It would have rocked him for the rest of it. Like it would. It's not just. You know what I mean? Because he does not squat. So like it would have this compounding effect that he did not feel during that because he did step ups. And that's like, I mean, yeah, it's hurting him. He feels all the stuff, but it just doesn't affect him as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grant Griffin, Mason did the first half, then exploded.
I mean, he'd be up there. His Isabel would have hurt him though.
Yeah. He'd been top 10 for sure.
He was like, oh, dude, I think he'd be up there with I think he'd be top 5.
Yeah.
I don't think he's cracking the top 2, but I think he'd be right there trying to.
I think with a full thing of training with a healthy knee.
Okay, well, fourth. If I had Matt Fraser's lungs, I would like.
No, I'm saying like a year ago, right? If
let's not get ridiculous, John.
No. I'm saying a year ago, he probably ends up being 4th.
Yeah.
I think he could be that now. I just he would be in the mix of it. Because there was a 50-point drop off to Spencer. Spencer was 4th place, and then Luke and Jack were tied, and Ty was 1st. And then there was like a 50-point drop off, and then it was Spencer because Sterner got almost last place in the sandbag event. Right?
Yeah.
I think Taylor could get 4th right now in his current situation, but I don't know how. Yeah, I think he comes top 5 in Medal March. He wins the last event. He's probably top 5 in Yoke Repeater. Isabel, he gets hurt. Like he gets hurt in Isabel, no matter what. But and then what's the other event?
Regionals Revenge.
Regionals Revenge. He I mean probably like what Spencer Panchik did. And then in athletes only, only
where Spencer was, but
right, like I think he'd be around Spencer in different ways of getting there, but I think he'd be around where Spencer was, and that's 4th place. So he'd be 4th or 5th right now.
Yeah. Kevin Carrick thinks he would have been 5th, top 5, hypothetically speaking.
Me too.
Kevin Carrick's super fit though. He's really good at those things.
I hear he's a thick-legged thing.
Before we move on, anything else you guys want to talk about on Syndicate Crown?
Yeah, the main thing. I got the benefit of being on the B team and doing the first 2 heats, and by the second day, it was interesting because there was always somebody who was setting a record in the first 2 heats or close to, but generally the athletes who were in those heats belonged in those heats. And I drove back Sunday night and talked to Hiller for 2 straight hours. And I had a long time to just think about what had happened. Probably the best way to do it, because like you can really go through. And I thought about Brian and how Brian's always talking about like, John, you're like, oh, I only cover the best athletes. Right. And it's like, well, actually, you only cover the best athletes' stats. And that's the thing that Brian gets pissed that we do, or we don't do, is we don't cover the bottom athletes' stats. We don't care, because guess what? You're not producing stats that anybody really gives a shit about because you're a lower level athlete. But we highlighted probably every single athlete who was in the bottom 2 heats. We did it differently. We made a story about you, Theo Kempfert, Josh Hayward, any of the girls, Emma Harvey,
Rachel Klausing.
Ryan Haynes from Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
The Nadia Samilis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is she?
I actually went and talked to her in the back.
What is
how
she?
do you say your name?
What is she?
Samilis?
Yeah,
Iranian.
She's not Iranian. Is she
know.
Russian?
I have no idea.
Somebody needs to let us know what Nadia is.
I'm sure she's watching.
But
JR told me it was funny. He goes, I think that might be the top time. And then from Nadia, or he goes, somebody already beat Taylor's time. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, that girl. And I was like, I go, I could have told you that. And he goes, you know who she is? I'm like, no, but look at her. That's a gymnast.
I have no idea. She's always competed in the United States, so that doesn't help.
She's a little bitty, man.
She's very small.
She's like Lydia Fish like 4 years ago, little.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I want Lydia Fish to be good so bad. Like she's fourth place with a 29th in the first event. Like Lydia, just eat your life away, Lydia. Literally eat everything in sight. Every single meal that you have, you should hurt yourself.
10-piece chicken nugget every day.
No spin.
20-piece
chicken nugget, large fry, large Dr. Pepper, sweet and sour sauce. 5 days a week, Lydia, and you will make the game. You might have to do a hard cut a month before to get your fitness back. But girl, please, you're so amazing. You just need to hurt your stomach every single time you eat.
Perrin, tell her.
Some high ground beef chips.
And some high ground beef chips. You need protein. Protein.
Thanks, Josh.
And it's got no carbs in it. Get some high ground beef chips in you, Lydia. Please, I want you to be good so bad.
A 20-piece chicken nugget and a pack of.
Look, Matt used to coach Lexi Neely, and she was a tiny little girl, just like you, Miss Lydia. And then she ate her life away, and now look at her. Just eating sandbags for breakfast.
Josh is like, I've never worked so hard for a sponsorship in my entire life.
That's right.
If I just get it in my vernacular, Josh, I'll be able to do it real smooth. It's just gotta get in my vernacular.
But the point is that the athletes that we kind of covered would come up to me and spin afterwards and be like, thank you guys. Like my gym's noticing that you're talking about us, even if we are kind of shitting on them just a little bit. We really did want to highlight. They were fun to watch. Josh Hayward taking off his grips. It was awesome. And it's that's the shit that matters, dude. No one cares about the stats. They care about who the person is.
Well,
they're from Murfreesboro.
I just thought about that now. I've never seen athletes take clips of what we said and put them in their stories of other broadcasts.
Yes.
And there were multiple that did that because we were having fun. We were telling their story, putting something behind it versus, there they go. They're just moving down the field. We tried to have fun with it. And I saw Luke Burns downtown on Sunday night. And he was with, by the way, that shirt on that he had, was Duffy. What was his name?
From the Simpsons?
No, the old CrossFit guy.
Dumb, ugly, freaking fat friend?
No. I'm gonna forget the name again. He used to be a CrossFitter.
Luke Burns.
Jordan. Jordan.
He is boys with Nelson from Wad Prep. I don't know if he's a Wad Prep athlete. He might be, but shout out to them.
Yeah, but we were joking about how he sprinted that first round and passed everybody, and those types of things was just fun to talk to him about and highlight and Connor Dudley, that's what it was. Yeah, Connor. They're downtown. So
the thing that I walked away this weekend with, there's always some underlying story that I tend to pick up on was, there are athletes. You okay, John?
Yeah. Wow, what's going on?
He's burp or something.
I'm having some stuff going on. It's good. We're fine. I actually haven't eaten very. I'm about
Cut.
I'm on the opposite train of what I need Lydia to be on. I haven't eaten any. I ate at 11 o'clock, and I've been cycling a lot, and I'm a little, we're not all there right now, but we're fine.
The underlying narrative that I came away with was that there are athletes, like it's like the younger and the newer athletes, or the athletes who, like, even George Sterner, who's been around for a little while, but like they're dying for CrossFit to succeed. And that old regionals feel of like, we really care about this, we really want this, that's all there. And like the Griffin brothers, man, they were playing ball with us the whole weekend, like winking at us from the floor while you're doing GHC sit-ups. You did it for your mom, but you also looked at me while you did it.
Dude, I love Grant. He was great. He walked up to me, he goes, "Hey, if I don't beat Mason in this running workout, I'm just not going to do CrossFit anymore." he didn't say it like that, but he said something to that extent. It was very funny.
But they're dying for CrossFit to succeed despite everything it's been through over the past couple of years. And I almost feel like if you're like, we're going through all this shit, like we're focusing on all the wrong narratives. We're focusing on all the wrong people. And it's like, man, like if we could just take a step back and realize who we do this for and why we do this. And that's why the saying, like, for the fans, by the fans, mattered so much, because like the stories that existed behind the scenes were just so amazing. And so I came away actually really hopeful for the future because of the middle, like even like Reese, like she's the higher level athlete and she was still itching to like interact with us and do all this stuff. And it's like that made everything feel worth it, is that spirit is still there.
Yeah. Get with the programming, $2, because there is no $1.99 option. Yeah. We don't give pennies back.
We're a little bit more professional than the Savon podcast, so we're a cent more than that one. So you got $2 to watch us.
Quick look into the community leaderboard. Lady,
got three-way tied. Josh,
Lady heavy. I assume that's heavy lifts. I have no idea how that works, but that's what YouTube is saying. Top winner at the end of the show gets $100 Australian dollars.
Maybe she hit that. Maybe she hit that like and subscribe button. I might try that.
Ooh, that might get you some extra points. So it's worth a shot.
I heard if we get over 10,000, it bumps it to $200 Australian dollars.
You never know.
True?
Good chance as any. Moving on to the NorCal Classic. This NorCal Classic 2 days away. We got a question here first before we move on. Hurian Eford, $5. Thank you. Do you think the criticism of the broadcast was fair? Camera angles, interviews, not put the camera on the event leader, etc. Tyler?
Criticism, fair is where you show pigs. Criticism's always good. I enjoyed listening to the Clydesdale podcast. But for instance, if we go through this line by line, camera angles, we had both the wide in the first two heats, and then we did more of like the follow the athlete stuff in the last two heats. And it got bitched about both ways. You guys followed the athletes too much. You guys should have had the still cam. We had the still cam and you didn't notice. Or the still cam's, not good enough. We want to see the athletes.
Too far away, yeah.
Yeah, the cameras should be down on the field. And it's like, what do you want? We can't do both. Now, what we could have done is put a camera on each corner, and I think that would have gotten us closer. We didn't know. We've never done this before. So definitely learned lessons on that.
To do what?
Put a camera on each corner, and then we could just cycle between left and right. And that way we're closer to the athletes. We were a little far away. That was basically the best vantage point we had, though, to get the whole field.
Yeah, we cut off like the very corners of the finish line because otherwise we'd be so far back that it was
right.
Now, NorCal will be all outside, so it's going to be a complete different,
totally different
vibe. Wish us luck, because I don't even know what we're doing. I don't think we have internet. I don't. So,
we definitely, the one thing we will have is internet. Power is questionable. Interviews, I don't think we received any criticism on the interviews.
No, the interviews got a lot of love.
Like,
yeah,
Kane,
I mean,
go ahead.
yeah, the people that were on, that joined on, I think we did a good job. At least when the B team was on, I felt like we did a pretty good job of balancing, keeping track of what was happening versus also giving them some love and letting them talk and stuff like that. Which, you know, the Visit Knoxville guy, Savon, threw on there at the very last minute. And Tyler did a great job of asking questions, because I was like, I don't know what to ask this dude. And I'm still trying to keep track of what the heck's going on. Because that was the handstand walk event where we could not see the cards of what round they were on.
Right.
And so, and because the rep scheme got shorter, they would go to round 4 and 5 like super fast. So if you weren't keeping track of where they were, next thing you know, they'd finish. And you like, so Tyler did a really good job of keeping engaged.
I don't know if you all have ever noticed, like when we have people on our show to interview them, I'm always silent. I don't ever know how to do what Spin does and like interviews these people. During that one, it was like I came out and was like, yeah, I've been shooting threes my entire life. It was the greatest performance of an interview I'll probably ever have.
With the sports commissioner of Visit Knoxville.
We just talked about the venue the whole time. But I mean, like, Taylor killed it. I mean, like, he made every on-floor interviewer ever look like they had no idea what they were doing. Like, his questions were next level. None of them felt forced except for Spencer, which, like, Spencer, I got to hand it to you, man. You just should have played ball. Like, you really took what Scott did in making that reel about John and, like, what he said, and you just threw it in the trash can.
It could have been a lot better. It could have been
so much better. And the interview that you gave of like talking about the community, we've heard that interview 1,000 times. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, make the sport entertaining and just like shit back on John. He shit on your family. Just shit right back on him. Like, that was the only interview.
Yeah, Spencer.
Mm-hmm. And John would have been like, you cheered for Spencer after he showed you up.
Dude, it was an amazing moment.
It was great.
Somebody goes, you suck. And then the very next event, you beat everybody and do something JR said was impossible for a guy to do. Taylor couldn't do it. And Taylor was convinced he's the best person in the world at this workout. And no, it's an amazing moment. I was happy. I'm happy for him.
It was.
Yeah, I think when we do our predictions, I think people and comment. First of all, I don't think we remember what we say half the time.
No.
Second of all, there's two things that can go really well. You're perfect, right? Like, your predictions, you nail it, right? Like, so John picking Ty at the top and getting that's awesome. But then when somebody comes out and proves you wrong and like shows you up, it's just as good, right? Like,
and now it's much more good for you than me, obviously. But the moment, like that moment would not have been there if it wasn't for that interaction.
Well, so this brings up a point that I thought a lot about on the ride home. The general scheme, and I'm going to shit on Chase just a little bit, but it's only because like he's a buddy. Is
Chase.
They just talk about the splits these guys are holding, what the movement does to people, all of that stuff. And it's like, it's generally like just kind of the straight same talk. Like, it's broadcast sports talk the entire time. But like the element that we insert into this whole thing, not to pat ourselves on the back, but I'm going to a little bit, is that like, we're in it and like we're talking shit about the athletes regularly. We know the athletes, we're friends with some of the athletes, and we have some storylines going with one of these, prime example being Spencer. And so like when somebody shows up or wins or does something, it means so much more because there's a storyline associated with it, as opposed to, hey, so-and-so got first in this event that like is another event.
I mean, I joked as the competition went on. I was like, you know what I'd do is I just not put the kettlebells down, right? Or go faster on the rope climbs and the double unders. That would never fly on a CrossFit Games broadcast.
No.
Right. Or like that's being simulcast to ESPN. Like people will be like, what are you talking about? Like that's ridiculous. And we had the freedom and the flexibility to do that. And I thought I enjoyed just making those jokes.
Those shows are those, like when we get to do the Beanie Team stuff, like I haven't had that much fun, and I have never broadcasted before, not like that. And like Spin played his part, and he freaking murdered it, and gave me and Pedro and Jenny just all the room to do whatever we felt. And I felt like for you, John, that was the same thing. Like you just got to talk about what you wanted to talk about, and there was not this control on like you have to stay within this box. It was like generally like don't say crazy, terrible shit, but like you have this wide range of area that you can fill, and you got to just be yourself. I never like thought, oh, I need to like tighten it up or be like, just talked. And it was so much fun. And I felt like people could feel that who like just don't avidly hate us could feel that on the stream itself. And so I thought it was like, can we do this at the games? Probably not. But like in a semifinals context, I think for damn sure.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think if it was for the games, we would be under rules. And like we would need to practice with said rules.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chase, Vicky figured it out. $1.99 super sticker. Thank you, Vicky. Barry McCockner, $5. Spin, you should broadcast more events. I
can't afford him. He's $150,000 a
Well, I think it'd be cool. What if at the games, like the first two heats is kind of like what we do, and then the last two heats are
I'll tell you what,
Chasing Bill. You know what I mean? Like
it would be amazing. I would jump at that opportunity.
People would watch true. More. It's like the XFL does like 2 quarters, and then you got the NFL game.
Or let us just do the spin cast. Let us do a dual cast and see how we pull. The three of us will do the spin cast. 2 B team members and an A team member. I think we could do pretty well. So anyway, NorCal Classic. We don't know any of the events, except is there a truck pull coming up?
Is there?
Well,
is it safe?
I would I think I would think of something else.
Would you?
Yeah. Just like the 100 elites would go through it, and it would be like a less than a minute effort.
Could you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it would be done just like the 100 elites would go through.
Zooming in.
Truck pull.
I think he wrote that just for you, Spin.
So it would be done.
You think so?
Just like the 100 elites would go through it, and it would be like a less than a minute effort.
Could you? Oh, okay.
I don't know. What do you think? You think it's just literally a troll?
I don't think it's a troll. I just don't think I don't think it's what you think it is.
With the heats, though, that's the whole thing that sets it off, because you can only like, what are you going to have? 2 trucks?
What are you going to do for 3-minute heats?
Not that.
Why, John? Why can't they have a truck pull? Because they have one in Strongman.
I just think, that you're right. I think it won't be that.
What do you think it's going to be, John?
I don't know. I
It's because John does know.
I
have zero idea.
We'll see. I just don't think it's a truck pull. I just don't think it's a truck pull.
Okay. Tyler, you don't know.
I think a truck of some sorts will be involved. There you go.
Truck of some sort is involved. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Watching you try to wiggle out of that was an impressive feat,
Spin.
John.
I'm warming up to JY. Look at that. And Tyler is so nice. Just say what it is, John. I don't know what it is. First of all, I don't like being told those types of things. I'd rather find it and share it.
What do you mean?
Like if somebody told me, like if somebody had told me Syndicate workouts ahead of time, right? And then there's something that's kind of sneaky or not sneaky, but you have to do some sleuthing to find it. I'd feel bad for posting it even though I found it publicly.
Oh, you post stuff all the time that you find.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it's not like if JR gave
He
me
wants
the
to work
workouts
for it.
Syndicate, I want to work for it and find it and share it.
For sure.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want somebody to give me the inside
and
information
then you share it. No,
because
no.
I'm friends with JR or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You don't want to kill a rabbit that has two
absolutely
broken
right.
legs.
Yeah, no, but you like the chase. You like the chase a lot. And
we'll get to that here at the last segment. Sure.
You're like the best one at it. So like, but yeah.
It's obviously a truck push.
Obviously.
It's not a truck pull. It's a truck push. Either way, it's going to be a 1 minute workout.
Yeah, very short, just kind of funky thing.
Are they going to get shit for it?
I don't think so. It's just
okay.
One of 8 scored workouts.
Yeah, they have actually like a lot of workouts. So this is just one of them.
Let's play make believe and just assume that it's a truck pull. I like that as an event.
It's not a truck pull.
I said we're playing make believe.
Yeah,
I just have a cold, man.
I like it. I think it's fun. It'll make crazy reels and go viral. If it's in a boatload of tests, that makes a difference because it's like you kind of can't do that if you don't have like a lot of tests to weed that out. And
what did you say of test?
Boatload.
Is
it a boat pull? A truck with a boat.
Maybe so.
Oh, that got me. All right, go, keep going. Go with your make believe thing.
Nothing. Just that I think it wouldn't be a terrible event.
A boat pull or a truck pull?
Well, you pick
either one. Did you see the weather?
No,
It's gonna be like 57 at night and high
perfect.
of 92 in the afternoon.
that's
the equipment will not overheat at all.
I live in that now.
Not everybody does though, John.
Are we doing my top 10? Is that what we're doing? Like we do with Syndicate?
We'll do top 5.
Okay. Why not 10?
It's already 8 o'clock and we were
we'll
told
go.
10 to 15 minutes max is all we got.
Blind
We
rankings.
still got blind rankings and what's you doing?
All right, fine. All right.
If you're not top 5, it doesn't matter.
Tier was doing.
You'll find out the full rankings tomorrow when I post it early tomorrow morning.
Okay. You want to go 5 through 1 or 1 through 5?
I want to do 5 through. I got in trouble when I started at the top of the mountain, John.
Okay.
So we can go 5, 4, and then we can go 3, and then.
All right. We'll go men first. Okay. My 5 and 4 is Nate Ackerman and Jorge Fernandez.
Nate Ackerman and Jorge Fernandez.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna flip y'all for a loop when you hear these. All right, and then my number 3.
There you go.
Is Maximilian Krieg.
We've not seen him in a semifinal yet, have we?
We have not.
He was not.
We
at
haven't
TFX.
seen him.
I don't have Ibarra because he
Is he out?
Right?
He has informed me that he will not be there.
Grant said he was sick
dude.
on the Be Friendly podcast.
No, dude, you'll be fine by
here
the
he
flight
is.
there.
And then my number 2, it's gonna be his first time that he qualifies for the games. And I don't know if he's watching, but get your whatever you get out, Hiller, because Billiam Leahy the 4th is going to be my number 2 spot.
Number 2, he's qualifying for the games.
He's qualifying for the games. And I know every single competition he does, he messes up the first event and then just sucks on day 1. And then after day 1, he's good. He's good. He always like climbs back to like 5th place, but he just sucks all the time on day 1.
Sometimes he
A lot. Yeah, something happens. Tears his Achilles, whatever.
Yeah.
Same situation. He messes up somehow.
All right, so who's 3rd again?
3rd is Max Krieg, and 2 is
so Bill Leahy's going to the CrossFit Games, and who's number 1?
Number 1 is Colton.
So Colton can't go because he already qualified. So that means Max Krieg
is going to the games.
Bill Leahy is going
That's who I've predicted.
Wow.
Now, if I will say, I think Jorge, I think 2 through 7, honestly have a shot at getting those top 2 spots. So, or the 2 tickets to the games. If we're just going to act like Colton wins, I think so. All the way down to my 7th, I think has a shot to make it. I'll go ahead and say their names just real quick because 6, I have Spencer Panchik. And then 7, I have Matthias Porter. And we haven't seen Matthias Porter in a long time. I don't think he did online semifinals.
He did
but
really open.
Matthias Porter is a home run hitter. And I just
can mess this up.
I think he's going to hit some home runs. That's all I'm saying.
Nice.
So
keeping it real. Appreciate the $2. This is wrong. What's the call-in number?
Don't got one.
Not today. But thank you for the $2.
That's a $100 deposit there.
That's right.
And that's my thing. So
right.
Yeah. And then for the women,
Creek. Why not Spencer Panchik after what you saw this week? There's no Heavy Isabel.
There is Heavy Isabel.
Oh, there is. That's right. There is Heavy Isabel.
Next, got you on that one. All right.
Sorry, Spencer.
I'm sorry. I did not. That was so mean.
I wanted it before you pivot to the women. I do think I understand the truck pull event. It will be an actual truck pull where you have to bring your truck and pull like at the fair.
Bring your vehicle.
In which case, Trista Smith is going to the games.
Anyway, the reason why I have Spencer at 6 is because he just won 3 events. He won 3 events and still was 4th place. Right? It went about as well as it could have gone, and he still wasn't good enough. And I understand that he had bad events too. I just don't think he's going to win 3 events again.
Do you think the men's field is stronger or weaker than Syndicate?
I would say probably weaker.
You hear that, Grant? Okay, next, women.
For the women, my number 5 is Carolyn Prevost.
Okay.
My number 4 is Sydney Wells.
Damn, dude.
Uh-huh.
Just shy of it again. Okay.
And then my number 3 is Hattie Canyo.
Hattie.
Now I understand Hattie's been dealing with some stuff and
got that shoulder injury.
Right. And if her shoulder injury is bad, then this is a toss-up. It's a toss-up, right? If she can't do some stuff, then she can't do some stuff. Right. But she's still competing.
She is. She's going to be there for sure.
So I don't think she would compete if she didn't think she had a shot to be okay. But if it's bad, then it's bad and she will not be in it. But I have her at number 3, and that's just if it's okay. Now, number 2, and she will be going to the CrossFit Games. It's Kristen Holte.
Kristen Holte.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you smoking some pot over there, Tyler? You look like you just hit something you've never hit before. Oh my!
I wish I had. Wouldn't be as hard to hit as that.
Kristen Holte,
the South African
queen herself. Kristen Holte is going to go to the CrossFit.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I'm going to say she accepts it.
100%. I think she's a Ben Smith. She's going to go out there, and
the only difference is
there's
she's
a challenge
much
in front
better
of
than
her.
he is.
She's gonna do it. She was 7th in the Open this year, and she did the workout immediately after it was announced, like in the middle of the night.
She wants to see if she still got it, and if I hurt Hattie Canyo and Sydney Wells is her toughest competition. I mean, come on now.
So who wins it then?
Alex Gazan, I think, wins it pretty convincingly.
PHC Gazan just crushes it.
It's all good. She feels great. I mean, she's on whatever Tyler's on right now.
Not enough.
I think a great prop bet would be who wins by more, Colton or Alex. I think it would be a great prop bet.
I think Alex.
It's
not there.
I don't have Emily Rolfe there because I don't think she will be participating. She had an Instagram post of her doing a wicked imam in her words. I don't think she'd be doing that the day before a competition or 2 days before the competition. She also had an elbow sleeve, so she looks like she's dealing with something. It might have been new or old. I'm not sure.
Don't talk about it.
Easy.
I know. I'm just speculating.
Whoa.
I don't know. I don't know anything. But listen,
Dude.
October 7th.
Get that
Whoa,
call-in
Lee.
ready, Spin. We're halfay there.
Whoa, Spin.
Thank you,
what
Lee.
are we looking at? Good grief.
What?
He's just pulling up public information here.
Look at that. It's so fast I can't pause it, but you see that on her elbow.
Anyway, I don't want to harp on it. It just looks like she has an injury of some kind. I don't know if she does. I'm not saying that. I'm neither confirming or deny that she probably definitely suffered an injury at the World Fitness Project. I don't know at all. This is just what I think. And then, so I don't have her. If she were competing, and I think people should take notes on this. If she were competing, competing, she would be 5th place in this competition.
So she's not going
probably
anyway.
good she's not going then.
Now, there is a huge like kind of thing I just said. And if anybody hits on it, then you'll know some stuff. But that's it.
Okay.
All right, on to the next one.
5th?
Don't understand.
5th place. Okay.
That's what I would say. I would say she would come in 5th. And when you post it tomorrow, I have a little asterisk that says if Emily Rolfe is competing, 5th place. And I want you to put that in.
Where's Trista?
Not in the top 5.
Trista's going to the games.
Trista Smith is 8th place.
Is Trista Smith a Seth Stovall?
No, she's different. She's different than Seth.
The same thing is like she just missed it just like Seth did last year. But it's tough to be top 2. It's easier to be 11th.
100%. 100%.
That's what I meant by that.
Yes. 100%. That's the case with Trista Smith.
Yeah.
Mark it down.
Lee
guys.
Frazier,
Trista's
look at
going to
this.
the game.
$49.99. Man, thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Lee.
Tyler, so Trista Smith's your Ben Smith pick.
No.
Can you
no.
tell us?
Very different.
Can you tell us who will be the Tyler Christoffel?
Dude, he was on fire with his bad picks this weekend.
He's never wrong.
Time,
He's never wrong. He has a freaking gift. I'm telling you right now.
If you are competing this weekend and Tyler
I
says
say
your
your name,
just withdraw.
I don't know. I'll have to look at that. I'll post my Tyler Christoffel pick after probably the next couple of days.
Speaking of Tyler Christoffel, his wife Bailey Rail is doing like a vlog series on the CrossFit YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, so there you go. NorCal Classic, check that out. Is the women's field stronger or weaker than Syndicate?
The women's field. I mean,
Grant says it's like the toughest field of any semifinal.
Yeah, he's absolutely insane too. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, like Hattie Carano is pretty much like Carolyn Stanley equivalent. Kristen Holta, I know she's a master. Is he talking about like with Bailey Rail?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he didn't. And CrossFit. Bailey's beautiful. Like that's great. But I think NorCal is a weaker field overall than Syndicate.
I do want to make this note. I think I went full Trash Panda by accident at the Syndicate Crown.
We said who's gonna win? Who's gonna do well in this heat? And he literally picks a name, and the guy just like bombs it. Every time.
I was talking about me literally podcasting from a trash can.
Yes, you were
at the event, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I reposted it yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've become a meme of myself."
I guess we should move on to blind rankings. We're getting out of time. Let's see. Here we go.
Tyler, I think you should like make little reels and like go to your trash can and be like, and then like get little pieces of paper, and then you pick up the piece of paper out of the trash can and then reveal a name, and that's who's going to suck in this event. And then you just do it for every competition, every event. Dude, I think everybody would love it. You don't say anything.
I'll do that from home for every event.
Right. And then just wad a piece of paper up, put it in the trash, and then take or have Jeanette take a picture of you or a video of you, and then you just pull it out and like uncrinkle it and then reveal whatever name is going to be terrible in the event.
Let's see, there it is. Get with the programming. 500 watching. Smash and like that button. Subscribe. The race to 10,000.
Leaderboard.
That's right. Get on the leaderboard. We'll have to check out after blind rankings how close we're getting. All right, the blind rankings this week. What are the NorCal storylines we're going to be talking about next week? What will we talk about? Any guesses?
I have no Holta.
No clue. Yeah, South African queen.
All right, first one. It is not Grant being right. That's not. Don't count on that one. We're going to talk about who qualifies.
That might be the most important one.
But are we talking about that? Is that the most? Is that the number one storyline next week?
Oh, okay. I would say 2.
I would say 3.
It's the most important thing. We talked about Reese Littlewood. That's who qualifies. We talked about Ty Jenkins. He qualified. We talked about George Sterner dying at the end. That's who qualifies.
Reese didn't qualify.
No, but like that she didn't. Like she was in a qualifying thing and then she didn't.
It's like, who's going to let John know?
So cool.
I will concede to 3. I just
I was about to concede.
Well, hear me out.
2.5.
You can make your decision. I will concede to 3. I just think if we're honest with ourselves, we will talk about who qualifies probably more than everything else.
I think you're saying that because you're someone who that like you really care about that. But I think and likewise, my bias is that I care about all the other storylines other than like if this is like if Sydney qualifies. Like that's a big deal. She's been in the trenches for this for a minute. And so that's a big deal. I'll give it a 2. I will cede to 2.
All right, number 2.
His seating was harder than my seating.
Yeah. Tyler spoke too soon. All right, next up. The odd events like a truck pull. Or maybe even a boat pull.
Sydney? She's made the games before.
Because this season in particular, like it kind of looks like she's not going to make it.
It would be the first time that the Wells sisters are in the games together.
That would be cool.
Would be a big deal.
That'd be cool. I mean, the Panchicks did it. It wasn't anything crazy. So,
yeah. What about the odd events? Like a boat.
3.
4.
Okay, 4.
Oh wow! I'm not going to talk about a boat pull. We already talked about it. All right.
Like if it's crazy.
What if there's a bucket hold again? And Pool Boy wins and he goes to the games.
I hope there's no bucket hold.
Pool Boy would not go to the games.
He won that event.
He did win that event.
He's not competing.
Yeah, he is. Bum, elbow, and all.
Really?
Yeah.
Good
Him
job,
and Hattie.
That's right. Next up, the live stream 2.0.
Ooh, this is big. This is big.
This is probably number 1 because it's the second week that all the trolls are going to get their moment to troll. And so it'll be the hottest talked about thing for sure.
It also gives us a chance to improve.
Yes.
Or
regress.
Under
one.
Yeah.
Underprove.
The circumstances are much harder this go. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and people might not understand that. We don't know. We don't have a plug-in.
Hey, so I've heard there's a lot of homeless encampments around there.
I have too.
If you do some
the
Google
homeless
searching,
are the last thing that we're worried about.
First of all, if you're out there and it gets a little bit dark, just be careful. Like there are homeless encampments. I saw something that somebody had collected like a whole bunch of needles from the area. Like there's it's right next to a river. And right down the way, there was like somebody's been collecting needles in that area. And like they have all these jugs of like ridiculous amounts of needles. So
at least it's cleaned up.
If you pop, you could just say it's one from one of the homeless needles.
You
right.
could.
It's not even my fault.
But like, I don't know how you guys move equipment between the stages. You can't just leave it plugged in all night because I'm not sure it's the safest to do that. So good luck. So sorry, Sousa. Next up. Who doesn't qualify?
But this is stupid spin. We're putting that in who qualifies.
That's not. Those are different people.
3. It's the same thing.
I would say it's a 5 actually, because I think who qualifies is very much more important than who doesn't qualify, unless somebody loses the last event and they had like a sure shot.
What if Alex Gazan does not qualify? You think that we talk about that more than we talk about who qualifies?
We can play the if game all we want to, man. If a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt when he jumps.
His butt,
butt jumps his butt bumps the ground every time he jumps.
Give it to John. Give him the 3.
No. We're good. Let's go. 5 it up.
All right.
I don't want to be cornered into a hole. I want to.
Colt Powers, Event 4, Wrestling the Homeless.
That'd be a good event.
That would be good. And the last one, we talk about the heat.
Oh, this was.
We have some burnt hands.
I told you, John.
The heat was a 5. You said 5 originally. I ceded to you.
I ceded to you first.
Yeah, but you seeded harder the first time, so I wanted to match your seeding, and then now our list is done.
The most last seed gets the trump, and you screwed that up, John.
You don't even know what you just said.
We talked about the heat last year. It was in the 90s. There were dudes like Sanson was going to the hospital because he was having a heat stroke. Nobody had water. They were all dying out there. Like, it could be a storyline.
The storyline I don't like
care
is
about
if
that storyline though.
This storyline is hugely important. Is if Brian Friends goes and then understands that Dave Castro will be there and then leaves. That's the storyline that I care
I
about.
thought Dave was going.
I'm pretty sure he is.
No. I'm serious.
I am serious.
Okay, I did too.
He went last year for a day.
Yeah, I think he's coming just for a day. I don't think he's coming the whole time.
Somebody put a camera on Brian.
You could do
What
that.
if they do like a Fraser Froning handshake?
Don't be gay.
That won't happen, but that's cool. There you go. Look at this, Vicky. Blind rankings is probably my favorite part of any of the podcasts.
Wow. Thank you,
Nice.
Vicky.
That's
All
cool.
right.
On a Wednesday night at 7:30.
That's right.
What's it doing?
Was you doing?
Tier was it doing?
Speaking of me finding things,
Tier wasn't it? That took me a minute. That took me a minute.
You guys are welcome.
The elite divisions at Tier Wadapalooza, Miami Beach, next March 2026. We're gonna have less athletes. So previously, the top 20 men and women from the online qualifier got to go, and then like everybody that went to the games and previous Wadapalooza podium finishers and winners and games winners could just accept their invites. The rule book said that there'd be a smaller field. Only 5 athletes per the rule book, as of yesterday, said the top 5 of the OC qualifier, plus 15 invites per the criteria will go. 20 athletes will go. Much smaller field. And the teams of 3 will be limited to just a handful. Do you like the smaller field in Wadapalooza?
No.
Okay.
I think they have Waza SoCal, and that's your showcase, and then of just the pros, right? And I would think that went really, really well. And I think Wadapalooza should stay like big time community and have all the people go and celebrate and party and work out and all that stuff. I think you're messing with it, and I don't think it's going to go well.
Well, you're not cutting out the community though. You're keeping the community. You're just cutting the pros.
They're actually adding a bunch of pairs divisions.
So
Lots of pairs.
Okay, never mind.
I
thought you said they were going down the teams a lot. That's what I thought you said.
The teams of 3. So they limit to 30 elite.
Okay, I thought you were saying the team.
But looks like they're going to add pairs. General registration, no qualifier leaderboard, just 20 RX, 40 intermediate, and 20 open of a male-female pair, a male-male pair, and it's female-female pair. So lots of pair competition.
That's my fault. I thought you were saying like in total.
But from our standpoint, when we were following the elite athletes, do we like having a smaller field, or do we like it when basically anybody that was at the games can go compete?
Why do you I think
this looks like more like a rogue type style field, maybe.
I think Wodapalooza is pivoting to this athlete highlight and making it a showcase of the pro athletes, in which case you'll have an easier time doing that with the elite male and elite and females. The thing that I'm thinking here is that they didn't bump down the elite teams of 3, correct?
They are down a little bit. I think last year they had like 40 teams, like something like that. So I mean, it's a little bit. It's not too bad because the bottom of the teams of 3, they weren't not competitive.
Do you think that they'll get more of the elites will want to do that, the team competition, and they're kind of just go ahead and get it out in front of it and saying, hey, we're only going to take the top 20 because like that's kind of probably who's going to show up. And then hopefully anybody who doesn't do that competition will do, like, more of the elites will do the team competition, because I could very well see that being the case, in which I think it's a smart pivot, especially considering WFP and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just think the individuals also doing team is like the best thing that Wodapalooza has going for it. Now, I get what you're saying completely, Tyler, and maybe it's a good thing, and maybe it works out, and more of the elites will do the team competition because of that fact, right? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I just think when you can do individual comp and it's 2 days, and then you can do team comp and it's 2 days, I like how it's different than anything, and they found a way to make that work. And now I don't know if they're making money off of it, but it's very entertaining. We enjoy talking about it every single year. And it's not like we come down from the individual side. Like, we're just as pumped up for the team side, especially if we're invested. I think we're more invested like 2 years ago than this last year. But that part of it's very fun. And I just think they have it down. It works for them. If you mess with it, it's got a chance of not working. But maybe it works better.
Yeah, I think 2 years ago, I think the team competition was really good. And this year it was good. It was good. They had 4 or 5 teams, I think, on both sides, but it wasn't as stacked as it had been.
I also think we were coming down from the Lucy Campbell high, and the teams just wasn't as entertaining because that was one of the craziest things that happened all year. And so we were coming down from that high, and then the teams were a little underwhelming. Where the year previous, that had not happened, and it was just as entertaining.
Well, because the women's individual field 2 years ago was not very strong. 3 years ago was even weaker.
Right.
That's when Paige and Danny were on the podium with somebody else. So it keeps swinging back and forth, and I don't know what they'll do with it. Right, like a smaller field.
Why do you think they're pivoting? I mean, go ahead. I don't want to.
I think my guess is, seeing that there's a whole bunch of pairs, they're running out. Like, if you have super open and they have 5 heats, I think it was last year, and I think it was the women or the men. You don't have time, and so if you can cycle a field of 20 athletes through one heat, one men's heat and then whatever, or 2 men's heats if there's in the smaller field, you have more time for the community stuff. I guess that's probably why.
I mean, like, I can't help but think, like, last year the field was much weaker at the bottom, and just chopping that off is just a better play, because then they don't have to worry about it. Yeah,
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I mean, the first heats were rough compared to what the top of the field, right?
I had a also go ahead. No, well, I was just going to say that somebody tall should be on this team, if that's true.
What if do you think if I was on a team with Colton and Austin that we could be top 10?
No.
You don't think their fitness areas and I can just lift when I need to lift?
I think back to some of the workouts that require
the run, row, swim.
That'd be the only bad one.
What was it 2 years ago where they had the burpees over the worm, and then one person had to go swim and come back?
Yeah,
Like you had to hustle on the.
Colton would swim twice. That's what we would do.
I don't think you can do that. I think
we're special. Listen.
So yeah, you just make those guys do all the work.
No, I'm doing as much work as I can. They're just obviously doing more work.
Because they would do that was also the trail run.
Yeah, I'd run the trail. I mean, I'm hurting us bad on these events,
but you're gonna have fun doing it.
But I think we can be I think we can be top 10 in like a CrossFit workout. You know what I mean? They just do more work, and I would do what I can. And then a lifting workout, we might win. We probably will win. Whatever the lifting thing is, we got me and Austin. And Colton's our worst lifter. I think we'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious what that experiment would look like. I would sell my soul, guys. And I know I'm the anchor, the biggest anchor anybody's ever seen. But I would sell my soul.
They can do it. They could do that, right? Because generally in the past, the teams, it was two games athletes and a third.
Just saying.
Austin,
as far as
you don't think that would be amazing to cover and just watch me die every workout?
That'd
and
be amazing.
Come on, John. Are you like them just be upset that we have 100 burpees left and I can't do any of them? like
I want to see it.
It would be fun. I think if Austin and Colton did the individual competition and then did the team competition,
they'd be like,
yeah, just for fun. I think that would be awesome, actually. Yeah,
I think it'd be pretty sweet too.
All right, I know Colton's watching. Christy's probably watching. Tell Austin to do that. And
we will have to stay tuned for this.
Thomas, did JY put Tia back on the mountain?
She's somewhere.
We will see.
Ooh.
I think it will surprise you what's coming.
I can't wait to find out. I think we have to wait until after
last chance
qualifiers
the games.
to know.
Oh,
yeah. Till the games. So yeah, that's it. I don't, we'll find out what they actually do with that, but it's in March, so a little bit later.
Chase, you were definitely not first.
Let's before we
hour 52 in
an hour 52. We are right on that 10 to 15 minute range. Let's see. Let's find out who the winner is.
Who is the winner of the leaderboard this week? Drum roll.
Let's see. Community.
His thumbs are getting tired. It's been.
I have no idea how this works, but I don't know what the tiebreaker is. Grant Griffin.
Oh, are you kidding me? Goodness.
Grant Griffin.
Wait, is the most money he's won all week?
Is he tied with somebody? Everybody. Oh, this is not
what?
Fair. Spin, you can't do that.
I think you can do it.
They're all tied.
What am I supposed to do, John? What am I supposed to do?
No, it says crown number 1.
Yeah,
the XP doesn't matter.
Yeah, I have no idea. I said whoever was number 1 based off of what.
Does the XP not matter, really?
I don't think so. I bet it's rounding.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Tyler might be right if everybody's got it.
They put him in first for a reason.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm following. It plays for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges and live chat receipts every stream. You need to collect experience points. Here's how you get it. Send live chat messages. Send super chats and super stickers.
There you go.
That's what it is. I'll refresh one time.
If you scroll down at all, this so says like and subscribe.
It does. That's it. Grant Griffin.
All right, Grant.
Send me a DM, and you are now the recipient of $100 Australian $100 because that's how they sell their gift certificates, gift cards that you get there. So
nice try, Phil B and Lady Heavy something.
Grant's not here. He cannot win. We don't know if he's not here. He was here. So
recount. I don't think that's possible.
This is false. Sorry, keeping it real. I have no idea how it works.
It's been way to just upset our entire crew that's watching here.
Contact YouTube.
Yeah. There's a reason why Grant's not in there.
Dude, Grant is going to sue you.
For what?
Where is he? He's not even in the top 10.
There he is, 16th.
There he is, 16th. Wow, amateur hour, Grant.
Step your game up, Grant.
Not even close. Barry McCockner was 12th. He lost the.
I'm canceling my membership.
I don't know.
This had a different effect than I thought you were going to.
Just unsubscribed. I don't know. That was a bad idea. All right. Well, maybe we'll never do that again. Anyway,
you know what, Phil? Just for that, you can't win, no matter what.
That's right. Hey, you win some, you lose some. Grant won, all you guys lost. We will see you guys next.
I apologize to absolutely nobody.